Welcome guys, I'm going to explain a game to you today called Shadow Stomping. It's a really fun game, especially for juniors. It's probably not going to be very popular with older students, but juniors really do enjoy this one. Great for arena or beach club. You want to use a kind of outdoor space and you need to play this in the morning or afternoon. You need sunlight to be able to play this game because it is based around the player's shadows. So it works like a regular game of tag. So we've got one player who's on, so we've got this blue one here, whilst all the other players are they want to avoid being caught. You can play with large groups, so you could play with up to perhaps even 50 students, in which case you just want to have more players on just to balance out the teams a little bit. Okay, but we're just going to demonstrate here, we're just going to have a few players for this game. Okay? So, like I said, this player's on and it's his job to try and catch the other players. So, rather than a regular game of tag where all he has to do is touch him, he has to stomp on their shadow. So, once he's standing within the other player's shadow, that player has now been caught. You can do it one of two ways, so that player could now be out of the game, and then the player who's on has to carry on trying to catch the others. Or you could say that he's got to perhaps sit down on the ground, and then the other players have to come and free him by touching him or also standing within his shadow. Okay? So it carries on like this with the player who's on trying to run around and stomp on all the shadows and catch them. However, to make it a little bit easier for the other team, is they do have safe zones. So what they can do is they can come and stand in the shadow of another object. So this player here is going to hide in the shadow of this badge. Although if you don't have any giant badges in your destination, this might be a tree or a bench or a fence or something like that. Okay, but the whole time the player is hiding, and once he's in that shadow, the player who's on is not allowed to tag him. So obviously his shadow's disappeared, so now he can't stomp on it. Okay, but this player is only allowed to stay there for up to 10 seconds. So the whole time he's hiding within this shadow, he has to count down from 10. And once he gets to 0, he has to run around again so that the player who's on can try and catch him. Okay? So it's really simple, it just carries on like this, and the player's going to run around and stomp on the shadows of the other players, of the other ones who are trying to escape. And it continues like this until all of the players have been caught, or perhaps you could give, say 5 minutes, and if there's still players who are free, those have won. The team who are trying to escape are the winning team. So you can kind of declare it like that. So yeah, try and play in an area where there's lots of different shaded parts that players can hide within. Just makes it a little bit more fun. And yeah, give it a go. Like I say, juniors really enjoy this one, so give it a try and have fun.